Hello and welcome to 10 Minute Takes. This is not a review, but the Haunting on Hill House discussion.
Here at 10 Minute Takes, we like to give our recommendation first, and then our discussion stems from the recommendation. Sam, are you ready to rate this?
I am.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Loved it.
What did you guys think? Have you seen The Haunting of Hill House? Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. Good job. I'm so proud of you.
Was it a loved it, liked it? Did you not like it? Obviously, we loved it. Jump in the comments below. Let us know what you thought. Join in on the talk. And with that said, let's just jump into the discussion. So The Haunting of Hill House tells the story of a family that moves into a haunted house when they're a young family in the 90s. And then the series intercuts with the family in the house with the family as adults. Mm-hmm. And man, how to describe this without giving away too much? But it's essentially
hard.
It is hard. I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't seen this series, this is a series, not a film. It's 10 episodes. It's absolutely fantastic. Essentially, what it starts out as is that the 5 kids are traumatized by an event that happened in the house when they were kids. Mm-hmm. You don't know much outside of the fact that the mom didn't make it out, and that all the kids have come out of this trauma with their own separate problems.
I had nightmares for a week. Every night, I woke up in the middle of the night and looked at something that reminded me of the movie.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. I do want to say movie. It's a series.
I had nightmares the entire week that we watched it. Every time I woke up, I thought I saw something from the movie. Ah! 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 Series, TV show, whatever it is. It was scary. It gave me nightmares. Ugh! Go.
So, the way that the series unfolds is that the first 5 episodes is told from the perspective of each kid. Mm-hmm. So, episode 1 is the oldest brother, and it intercuts between him as an adult and him as a kid.
Right.
And it's the events of him as a kid before the trauma, and I want to say during the trauma. And then him as an adult, he is a denier. He doesn't believe there's a haunting at all.
Right.
He's very much like, you're all crazy.
He's in denial.
He's in denial, and he thinks that anyone who believes the house is actually haunted is seeing things. He thinks that they have mental delusions. He thinks that there's a sickness that runs in the DNA of their family.
Every episode unfolds for all 5 kids in the same order.
Yeah.
So it starts off very closely to the beginning of them moving in for the summer, and then it unraveled all the way until the end of when they all leave the house at the same time. I feel like I'm wrong.
No, I want to ask you a question. There's a rumor that, or at least a theory for this, is that the 5 kids represents the 5 stages of grief.
Well, when you told me that...
the 5 stages, I'd like to know what the order of the 5 stages are, and I'd like to know if that...
It's exactly the order of what it is.
Is it?
Yes, it is, because I looked it up, and I researched it, and I spoke to people, and...
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah,
that's so clever.
It was the 5 stages of grief, starting from the oldest child to the youngest.
Really?
The youngest one is... The youngest was most acceptance. She was the most open. The first one was grief. The second one is anger. The third one is bargain. The fourth one is depression. And the 5th one is acceptance. Boom. Oldest, next till you get to the 5th.
High five. High five for research. Good job. That's impressive.
Research and thinking.
Research and thinking.
Research and thinking.
That's what we did.
No,
There's a lot of thought that...
I have been talking about this film and
TV show.
I've been talking about this show, and that was my conclusion. I was like, oh my goodness, it's in all of the orders. This is such a thought out film, and there is one tiny 1 minute. Gosh darn it! Why do we have to make this just PG? Gosh, this fly, man, this fly. There is a 1 minute segment that actually explains it. And I think the one thing that makes this show amazing is that I'm talking to people who are not people who watch TV, and they're involved in this. And they're like, this is crazy.
Yeah. one of the things that I really, really like about the series is that it's written and directed by Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan is a horror movie director. He did Oculus, I want to say about like 6 years ago. He did Ouija 2. We watched Oculus. It's the movie with the haunted mirror. And it possesses a family.
Not about that.
His horror films border on horror tragedy. And this series has, when it's at its, right after it scares the absolute wits out of you, it then shows you, it takes a beat, takes a step back, and then shows you the tragedy of the situation. Mm-hmm. 1 second you're terrified, the other second you're absolutely devastated by what was scaring you. And I thought it was
so amazing.
Geniusly done. What the one particular episode that was like the tragedy is
when I screamed?
No.
Oh.
It's one
I
of
screamed
the
once.
It's one of the middle episodes. I don't want to give away what episode it is, but there's one episode where the haunting, the ghost of what's haunting this particular sibling, when you actually find out what the ghost is, it's super sad. It's really tragic. Oh
gosh, yes.
It really just makes you.
It also makes you think of Destiny.
Now, with all that said, I don't want to go too far into the things that we did like and try to analyze all the episodes. That's not what we're not here to analyze all the episodes. I wanted to try and keep it to the first half. I will say that there is one particular episode. It's in the second half, and just from a technical aspect, I feel like the episode itself was made from 3 or 4 single takes. It's an hour-long episode, and there's a couple like 20-minute long takes where you follow one character. They're walking through I think it's a funeral home that they're at, and then they transition to the house. Shivers. And then we transition back in time to the family when they were younger, when tragedy was happening. And then after the tragedy, I think it's the tragedy. No, there's something else happening. It's not the actual tragedy. And then we transition back to the funeral home. It's a super long sequence told in one take, and it was almost so impressive that it took away from the story. But at the same time, it was just like I don't want this to be told in any other way.
I'm not a camera expert, but I have to say that strategically, the way that they moved the camera was so good.
It makes you super
that's
uneasy.
What made you so scared the entire time. So the film is constantly moving in a slow motion, and then something pops up, but it only happens once in a while. Mm-hmm. You don't know when it's going to happen, and it's just there. And that's what makes this series so creepy and scary.
Yeah, the camera will like circle around a character, and it'll hold on to a shot, and you don't know if there's going to be something, behind something that camera's going to reveal.
And the thing is it's not always there.
Yeah.
It's only there at a very particular time. And sometimes you don't even catch it. We had to rewind the series because I caught it or you caught it. And I was like, oh my goodness, we have to rewatch this. And we'd go back and I'd be like, wow. And I don't really pay attention to the way that cameras moves. I don't really notice cinematography quite as precise as you do. But I noticed it in this.
Mm-hmm. No, it's super effective.
And that's what made it so scary.
Okay. Real quick, there's very little that I disliked about the series. Mm-hmm. All the acting's fantastic. All the actors are super good. The writing is on point. The one thing that bothered me about the show is the way that it looks. And by the way it looks, I mean the way that's like the lighting and the coloring. It just looked kind of, at first it looked kind of cheap. So it looks like they just like put a filter on it, and it looked like they put like a soft glow.
Blech.
And it didn't look natural to me. And it took me a couple episodes to actually get into it. But once I finally like looked past the actual look of the show,
okay,
I was 100% on board. The quality of the writing and the characters won me over.
I can see how you noticed that, but that had no effect on me.
That is as part of my trade. So as part of my trade, that would be my lone critique of the show, because everything else in it is
spectacular.
And I felt like the coloring and the look of the series got better as the series went on.
Okay.
So I felt like when they were starting, they were like trying to find the look that they were going for. And then as they kept going, they honed in on what they were going for.
Okay.
So that's my lone nitpick. What, do you have anything?
A+.
I didn't think so. It's a silly nitpick on my part.
No, but it's not. It's not a silly nitpick. I understand. When you say it in the way that you say it, I understand it. I wouldn't catch it because I'm there for fun. Like, I am there to watch a film and have a good time.
Show.
I am there to watch the show and have a good time. It's Halloween season. It's October, and this is what I wanted to watch. These are the kind of ghost stories I thoroughly enjoy, and getting 10 hours of it, perfect.
Yeah. So the show is super bingeable. Absolutely loved it. It's one of the better shows that Netflix has put out in a while. So if you saw it, jump in the comments. Comment. Let us know what you thought. Do you agree with us? Did it creep you the hell out? Were you having nightmares like Sam? Let us know. We'd love to engage with you guys. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel as well.
That was my line. But now I can't do it.
Go ahead. No, you say it. Comment
below, like, and subscribe. Now it sounds weird.
Yeah. Enjoy the ride. on Raging Bull.
Enjoy the ride on the Haunting on Hill House. Like and subscribe. Fine, forget it. Keep going.
No, it's totally going in. That whole thing's going in. I don't care what you say. It's already been edited. That is it for us. Other shows we're going to be doing, Sabrina, Daredevil are the next ones we got to do.
Sabrina, come on. How are we going to get that done with Red Redemption?
And
you had no phase. Okay.
And we've got Bodyguard. I heard Bodyguard's fantastic. It's a 6-episode miniseries. That was on BBC. So someone recommended me that one. So
on our channel?
No, at work.
Oh.
So I'm going to be interested in checking that out. So that's it for us. Thank you for watching.
We have a lot to watch in very little time.
Yeah, I know. In case we haven't said it enough, like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Or day, depending on when you're watching this. Who knows?
Happy Halloween. No.
Thanksgiving, whenever this is. See you next time, guys.
Now it's getting weird. Stop it. Okay. Thumbnail.
Okay.